Hello guys, this is Alexi with Rock and Roll Tennis Camps, and today I want to talk about forehand take back. My fundamental belief is taking it back correctly will make it a lot harder to do it wrong in the middle and in the end. So the rest of the swing will be a lot easier to execute right if you start right. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So here's the semi-western grip that everybody knows that's the most optimal grip for forehands. So one thing though is rarely discussed is this little space right here between index finger and the rest of the fingers is absolutely critical for your racket control. So a lot of people just will put it in the fist, like especially at the club level. Virtually everybody I coach will have this, and it is like if I change from my grip to this, I can't hit the ball. It's absolutely critical, and if you observant and you pay attention, you'll see that every pro will do it, and it's not an accident. Okay, so let's start with the ready position. So your wrist is going to be up and your racket is already tilted as the forehand as your default angle. So not like this. It's all the way lined up for forehand already, and your wrist is all the way up. So you definitely do not want to get ready like this, or worse yet, like all the way down. So it's already up, because as you're taking it back, it's just gonna stay there. So you're already pre-packaged for a forehand right from the get-go. Long time before the ball comes, you're already basically halfway to the right beginning. So your wrist is up, your elbows are pretty close, so it's easy for you to execute. So you have two hands on the racket. There you go. So the ball is coming. Your first move is going to be unit turn. I have a full video about unit turn and its advantages, so if you can go back in my history and check that out. But basically this is non-negotiable. You absolutely have to start high to produce a world-class swing. Okay, so you can start like curious, a little bit more exaggerated, even slightly over the head, or you can do it like Djokovic or Federer, a little bit lower and a little bit angled. It's the same principle, just different variations. It's, different peoples have different flair, but it's the same principle. You have to start through the top. So unit turn. After the unit turn, it actually gets into the take back. So if you kept the wrist correctly right from the beginning, which you should, that's the whole point of this ready position. You just keep it in the same place, move your arm back, and you will have a take back with the strings visible to your opponent. That's the look you want to have. Your wrist is up, your elbow is slightly bent, but it's still far enough from your body. So it's not tucked in, it's bent, but it's far from the body. And the last thing, you want this racket to be just slightly tilted to the right. So I'm a righty, that's where it will be tilted to the right. Here's the beginning. So now it outlines my racket path. So it makes it a lot easier for me to repeat my line. So here it is. None of these things are really complicated, and I teach them at the club level. But for those of you who want to go higher to Division I college or even the pros, you cannot do pretty much. There is very little deviation from this. This system is like, it has to be followed. It has to be followed like very, very religiously. So here's again ready position. Goes through the top. It gets to the right of the body. You're ready to swing. So here it is. If you want me to make a video answer your question, please drop me a comment. Otherwise, go rock the courts.